It's time for today's face-off on Fox Soul. Challengers Quan LX and Big Angry Adams ready to go blow by blow on those hot topics. Face-off on Fox Soul starts right now.
Making moves with the money, you can keep the rest. Sitting up like the teacher's pet. Put the chain on him, it's a treasure chest. Got these shook like a Etch-a-Sketch. We're not doing 69, how we neck and neck. Made 100, haven't even had breakfast yet. What we doing here? I'm swimming in the money, I need scuba gear. What'd you do this year? I took a trip to Belize to get a souvenir. I'm whiter than some souvenirs. Everywhere I go, they're staring at grown women still have my parents. Keep your boyfriend, I'm not caring about never been a Karen. Only thing I'm caring about is cash. Writing bars while I'm blowing on exotic. That white girl dope, it's ironic. Mixing the tequila with the tonic. Red bottoms running to the money like Sonic. Sunrise, sunset. Doing yoga, working till the sunset, gotta meet my quota. I'm from Michigan, we say pop, not soda. About to pull over, get top in the Rover. Flow harder than my if I had one. Would kill my competition if I had some. Said BBL got my rack done, but I just off, I need my done.
In this round, here's Quan LX.
Charles, after watching that video and listening to the white Caucasian female hip-hop artist, I am a firm believer that it is time for you white folks to start your own NAACP. This white girl here is now going to be the new standard for young white girls to follow. In fact, I hope that young white girl becomes as popular as Glorilla became popular in our community, Sexy Red in our community, because normally white music houses and white distribution companies don't distribute such filth coming from a white young woman, a white young man like that, but they do it in our community every day. So I want to encourage the music moguls, give her all the airtime you can and let her listen and be played in all the little white homes as possible, because now you white folks get a chance to see the drama, the madness, and the filth that's been poisoning the mind of young black children in the hip-hop community by some, certainly not all, but far too many. But now white men have gotten rich, made billions off of pushing that foolishness in the black community. Now you got your own little white girl. You can push that to your children now.
Not the first white rapper. I think that's just a viral little clip. I don't think she's got a deal. I don't think she's rocking a chain.
I hope she get a big deal.
But frankly, I didn't hear any filth coming out of her mouth. There were a couple of cuss words, but I listen to rap every day. And
are you out your mind?
When you talk about Sexy Red,
she talking about giving top by the pool in the Range Rover. Giving tops mean giving a blow job in somebody's Range Rover.
She could have a serious boyfriend. She could have been parked behind the house.
Did you hear she talk about having a heart? Dang-a-lang.
Okay, I don't know. I know you.
She was talking about that too.
I know you prefer Kenny G and Harry Connick Jr., but most rap music, when you mentioned Sexy Red, she's talking about her pink and her brown.
She was too.
She's talking about the stink and the stank. I mean,
she was too.
I mean, look. I think that this young woman had some real talent. She was spitting. There were some good rhymes. Okay, but when you think about the most vulgar, most crass rapper of all time, you immediately think about a very white rapper, Eminem, who was platformed for white people.
He wasn't the most vulgar.
I guess you don't remember.
You don't remember Andrew Dice Clay?
Okay. Andrew Dice Clay wasn't that, but he's a comedian, not a rapper.
But he was a musician too, Andrew Dice Clay.
Anyway, Eminem, he would often push the boundaries far beyond others with vulgar lyrics, and I don't think it's as racialized as you pretend. You act like there's a cabal of evil white men who are creating music
that white
just
girl
to push
is a
it
culture vulture.
Oh,
she's a culture vulture.
Now,
because she wants to steal the music culture of black people to enrich herself.
So Eminem
the same
too?
way that Elvis stole the black culture music to enrich himself. The same way the Beatles took black songs and sung them and made them popular. The same way the Beach Boys took black songs and made them popular. They sung Chuck Berry's song. They stole all the Richards music.
Disagree.
So yes, the culture vultures are still at work right there.
I disagree that Elvis Presley monetized what was originally music played in black venues and whitened it up and made a fortune.
The Beach Boys,
I
too.
disagree with the Beach Boys. Had a very specific California sound.
And they took some black songs and redid them.
And the Beatles were very uniquely the Beatles, just because you
and they sung some black songs.
Okay.
Because at that time, they thought it was better and more acceptable and more marketable for white musicians to sing these popular black songs.
It took us a while to get there, but we've got to your familiar refrain of Whitey Bad.
She talk about giving head jobs.
This girl, look.
Talk about how she'll give a man some poo nanny. And he ain't got to pay for it. But he got to have a hard ding-a-ling.
You ever listen to WAP? Do you not like our local talent, Megan Thee Stallion?
I heard
you don't
the
like
song.
Cardi B?
I heard the song.
You don't like those?
And I'm very displeased by it. I heard the song.
Why?
Because that is not something that God wants those young women to use their great musical talent for. Yes, they're making money, but I say to those beautiful sisters, what good does it do, as the Bible teaches, for a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? So this world will give you money, but also the price of that money will be your soul.
Do you feel the same when men use violent or vulgar lyrics?
Hell yeah, I do.
I don't ever hear about it.
Because the damage I've said it right on this show, the damage that so many of our hip-hop artists have done to our young people and their mindsets has fostered drug usage, has fostered criminal activity, has fostered self-hate for one another. Look, now, there's some good artists out here, but the white music labels that own those music labels don't want to push positive black music.
Look, I will say, I mean, here we have an African-American owned label here in Houston, right, that makes hardcore rap music.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm a big fan of the label.
And that brother,
I'm a big fan of the music.
Brother was the founder of Southern hip-hop music, and brother Jay Prince.
But
Jay Prince would tell you that the white music major distribution houses do not want positive black rap brought to them, nor do they want it played.
Here's the thing, man.
Let me tell you something, man. You remember when Kanye West made that song about Jesus lives and Jesus walks?
More huge hit.
Remember that huge hit? But now, during the Olympics, if any of those players, I'm sorry, not players, but athletes, including players, mention the word Jesus, they was bleeping it out.
Okay, look.
Did you see that?
Here's the thing. The record industry, right? If you can sell positive music, they're going to sell positive music. They're selling music that sells. It's mercenary.
They don't put any real promotion money behind positive music. Those record labels, no, they do not.
Hey, you know, we don't get enough promotion, right? I mean, look.
But there's only one positive influence on this show.
Yeah, me.
I need you to come forward and join this side of the fence.
Here's the thing. If they sold, if positive hip-hop sold, if Will Smith hip-hop sold, then it would get platformed far more.
No, it did sell at one time.
But at one time.
Public Enemy did sell at one time.
But Public Enemy was.
Run DMC was a leading hip-hop group in America at one time.
Do you not remember?
But somebody decided to push that to the curve and bring up what they call gangster rap with the negative aspects of it.
The populace. The consumers.
MC Hammer was the biggest leading hip-hop artist of his time.
And then he got a Saturday morning cartoon, and people thought he was washed, right? The truth is that there is a consumer group of people that want that kind of music, and good for that white girl. She did a damn good job doing it. You're just a hater.
In this round, here's Charles Big Angry Adams.
You know, Quanell, last week we talked about a Texas team that had some 11-year-old students wear a shirt with their numbers on it and that says the F word to a Havoc, which was a team they were about to play and ended up beating. And you had very strong opinions about the parents and the coaches involved in having 11-year-old boys wearing a T-shirt with the F word on it that appeared to be official gear of their their football team, their elite football team. Now we have another situation, and I want to read this post from a youth football coach. Put DCF, which is Child Protective Services, on me about a lie to gain a player. Then weeks later, OPD, the local police department, shows up to our practice saying I'm mistreating the kids. So since this specific individual wants to see me in a jumpsuit about Little League football, I put one on and coach my kid to a 34-0 win. The clothes I wear, the way I look, never define me as a man. It's F you if you ain't with us. Now, this is, if we've got a picture, it's got, oh, there we go. It's the coach. He put on a state property jumpsuit. Reminds me of the Meek Mill Jay-Z film project from years back. And also, it's very clearly looking like a Department of Corrections jumpsuit, right? And he is presenting himself with handcuffs in one photo. It looks like a Halloween costume. I do not see the children in the photo. When we talked about it off camera, you seemed very horrified by this, Quanell. But here's the thing. This is a coach that took his kids, including his son, to a 34-0 record. He's obviously doing a good job coaching. He's obviously very involved. He clearly has his feelings hurt about some nefarious person trying to steal a player by putting Child Protective Services on him, trying to implode his team by calling the police on him, and I think he's just making a statement.
Charles,
good for him.
Charles, I don't give a damn about the score on the field when the score off the field as a role model and head coach shows that you're morally bankrupt.
How so?
Let me go
How
on.
so?
Let me finish.
Okay.
Because he spoke about clearly he did this because of a personal attack against him. Well, this coach has to understand it's not about you, dude. It's about the children. It's about what's the best interest of the children and best interest of the team. And any personal attack on you does not justify you lowering the standards of principled conduct and behavior and the examples that you set as a coach for young children and young athletes, especially when so many of them young men live in communities of high crime areas, because some of these young men have fathers that unfortunately locked away in prisons and jails. You don't allow a personal attack to cause you to lower your standards when your standards are set because of what's in the best interest of those children. And I'm so sad that this brother took it so personal. He took it so personal.
When somebody calls
it's not about you, black man. It's about these young brothers.
When someone calls the government on you, it is personal, right? They were trying to interfere with his freedom. If you look at the Facebook post, there are no children around in the pictures where he's dressed up in a jumpsuit with handcuffs on.
He's at a damn football game. Look,
no,
he's at a football game
field, not a game.
You see the kids in the background? Look at this.
There ain't no kids.
Just look right here. You see the kids in the background?
Those are practice dummies.
Look back
Those
here,
aren't
man.
kids.
These are kids in the background.
You didn't go back.
The picture. Look at the picture.
You need to go back to
He still got on with the kids
and get you some new.
He still got on with the kids.
Hold on. There is one with the kids.
And he said he wore it. He said he wore it when he coached the damn game.
And he's smiling. And he's got all the kids smiling. You got 2 white kids, a whole bunch of African-American kids that are all with this kid. This coach
is not what we should stand for as coaches.
This coach is taking the time not only to lead these young men on the field, but to lead them to a perfect record. This is a coach that cares.
So, Charles,
and of course you're going to care.
This is what we're saying now. So we might as well say to high school coaches, university, college coaches, ignore the behavior off the field, no matter what it is.
He just put on a costume.
So long as you're winning on the field.
No, he just put on a
Charles,
costume.
We are sending a message to these children.
No.
In the NFL, you cannot have that type of moral behavior, conduct exhibited and not be held accountable. Then in college, university, the same thing. High school, the same thing. This is not the message that we want to send to our children. That as a role model coach, I'm sorry, when you decided to coach that youth football team, you agreed to be a role model and hold yourself to a high standard.
Quanell, I could not disagree more. The point is not that he wore a costume because he was upset about some nonsense.
And handcuffs.
The point, right, is that he showed up every day to coach these kids, that he cares enough that when somebody comes after him, he pushes back so he can keep
Charles,
coaching these kids.
as a coach,
you talk about fathers that aren't participating all the time, and you blame mothers.
As a
this
coach,
is a
Charles,
coach that is participating.
his job is to keep those young boys out of a jail state property jumpsuit.
His job is to
His
lead
job
them
is
in
to keep them
football.
out of handcuffs, not bring a state jail jumpsuit to the field and bring handcuffs and handcuff yourself to make a statement to somebody who offended you. Your job as a coach to keep the kids out of handcuffs.
They didn't offend
keep
him.
them out of jail
they
uniforms.
Called the police on him. He was making a point, and he doesn't necessarily.
And I'm making a point. It's not about him. It's bigger than him.
No, when someone calls the police on you, it's about you, and he's clearly passionate about these kids.
So to hell with what the kids see. To hell with what the kids see.
How do you know what they saw?
Look at this, Charles.
It's an empty field. There's
Charles,
no kids
stop,
in the
Charles.
picture.
He's in the picture right here with it on.
Right.
With the team. He still got the uniform on, Charles. And he also went on to say in his statement, he coached the team wearing it to a 34-0 victory. Yeah, you coached them, brother, but you failed them morally and spiritually and mentally, man.
It's a costume. This is a guy. It's just about, you talk about dads.
But it wasn't Halloween.
No, he's
putting, it was a costume and it wasn't Halloween.
He's putting in the effort. It's the dads that aren't putting in the effort
he was
that are the
offended
problem.
That somebody offended him.
No.
It's not about him,
Somebody
Charles.
didn't offend him. Someone tried to take away his freedom.
Charles.
Tried to take away his team.
Charles, and that is
he's
offending
pushing
somebody.
back.
You're lying on him. I understand that, brother. But guess what, though? What do you teach those children when somebody lie on you?
That there's a possibility you might
So
get
now
unfairly
we want the kids to
convicted?
react like that? So we tell the kids, this is how you act when somebody lie on you?
Look,
this is your conduct that you take
I had a much
now?
larger problem with the team that used the ugly word and disparaging another team. This is a coach that was making a point to another adult while doing an effective job coaching his kids. I say good job.
Remember what the former First Lady Michelle Obama said to this coach. When they go low, you go high, brother. Teach your children that when they go low, the children should go high. Because we got too many kids suffering fights on social media, bullying on social media, and committing suicide and killing other kids because of being bullied. Go higher, children. Don't stoop to nothing like this.
You know, when I hear that comment from Michelle Obama, I don't like the term they, right? Because I think people perceive it as referring to unknown groups. I applaud this young coach. I hope he keeps coaching and don't listen to people like you, Quanell.
It's not about you, coach. It's bigger than you.
Today's face-off up.
Woman for reportedly hiding a 17-year-old boy and having a sexual relationship with him. Police say 44-year-old Robin Rogers here was helping that teenage runaway evade police. Rogers is being held on a $30,000 bond on several charges, including sexual conduct with a minor, false reporting to law enforcement, and possession of drugs.
Charles, we just watched a news clipping about a woman who allowed a runaway to live in her home, knowing he was a runaway, harbored him from his family, and for months he stayed with her and lived with her, and later to learn through a police investigation she had been having sex with this 17-year-old young man for months. This big, fat, ugly-looking witch that did this young baby like that and provided that young man with drugs also. Now some sick-minded judge says she has to face no jail time. She's facing no jail time at all. She should be in prison. She should be locked up. Such a old, ugly witch like this should be locked up, Charles, doing that poor boy like that. And a judge says no jail time?
Okay, so I don't disagree that the judge and, quite frankly, this teacher, what was her name, Robin Rogers? I don't feel like, I think very clearly they should both be labeled the face-off F-up, right? This 44-year-old woman took a kid in and helped conceal him from his desperate parents who were searching for him. And while she was doing it, they were doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Poor boy.
But here's what I don't understand when you pitch this story, Quanell. Matt, could you just give me the last two teachers we talked about on this show that did it? Now she's an attractive woman. I bet her throat game. Now this one was markedly beautiful, and you thought they could both be fixed, and you wanted to do some of the fixing. Now, if we could look at how much Quanell likes this woman real quick, back on camera, Matt. Yeah, thank you. You are a fan of teachers when they sleep with their teenage male students. You talk about how they're bringing them into the manhood and all this. You like to brag about how, you were like 15 and you and some toothless 90-year-old got it on and you didn't feel like that was sexual assault. But in this scenario, like 17 is the age of consent in Texas. I don't know what it is in Arizona, but this is I feel horrible for these parents. I think she should go to prison. But it seems like your perception of criminality is based only on the woman's attractiveness. Now, does she look like a thumb with a wig on? Yes.
This woman should go to prison. She should go to jail for raping that young boy. She took advantage. Can I see the picture of the other last one that you just showed?
Quanell wants the picture back there, Matt, because he don't care.
That's not true. Lord.
You like the? I don't think you like.
That's a teacher.
I didn't think you like white people.
What subject she teach? I'm not into this white woman, but I'm not gonna lie. What subject is? God, what subject does she teach?
Here's the thing, Quanell.
What grade level?
Here's the thing, Quanell.
Damn, look at this. I'm sorry.
I mean,
it's wrong what they've done, and they should be locked up, and those children must be protected, and those young boys should not have to suffer that.
So you want them on house arrest at your house?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You
house arrest.
House arrest.
They should be, the last two, should be on house arrest.
Did I not want
Not this one. She's going to penitentiary.
See, that's the thing. You only care.
But the last two should be on house arrest.
I think anyone molesting kids, whether it's a man or a woman, should have a consequence, especially teachers, because kids go to school not to be victimized.
I agree.
Right to not to be taken advantage of.
And we should find the fathers of those two young men that was molested by those two, and we should let
the last two?
Yeah, and let the fathers have some say-so on the consequences too. Let the fathers have some input.
So they should sleep with the fathers.
I didn't say that, but the father should be allowed to have a victim impact statement.
Okay, they probably were.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, Quanell, I don't get your mad.
The father should be allowed to have a victim's impact statement.
If you're a fine white woman, you can commit no crime in Quanell's
I did not say that.
Do you feel
I did not say that.
I don't see you saying it about black women.
What? Some fine sisters? I had a real fine black teacher, Miss Baylor. Lord have mercy.
Oh my God! Look, it's the wrongness of the act, not the beauty of the woman.
She should go to penitentiary.
That's it for the Face Off on Fox Soul. We'll catch you next time.